Is this generally how Sabonis is doing things? Is he doing individual workouts for teams?
I think that might be the case. It's up to him and his agency how they're going to go through and do it. So we're happy to get him in and put him through a nice long workout. So sometimes a little bit harder when it's just one guy because you don't get the break in between reps. So it was nice for him. So but he did a good job, got through it all, and was prepared well in LA and was in good shape coming in.
You scout him well, but you didn't get the chance to talk to him at Combine. So is this especially important to have this time?
No, for sure. Spending time. We spent time with him last night at dinner. He's just spent time today with some more folks on our staff. So always heard really good things about him, and it was good to kind of get FaceTime with him, talk to him, and see what type of kid he is. And he's a great kid.
How much does this NBA pedigree help going through this process?
It helps a lot. Obviously, when your dad is a legendary center, you kind of have a great sounding board in your backyard. But he's also unique in the fact that before he went to Gonzaga, he played EuroLeague basketball in Malaga. So he's been in a pro environment before going to college and having the dad as well. So he's got a lot of kind of different experiences and different people he can reach out to give advice on the process.
It's easy to think of it being a disadvantage not working out with other guys, but what are some of the advantages of just getting him one-on-one and all that focus just on him?
Well, he gets he's the star of the show at that point, so we can put him through different drills. We do have some size in Jason Frazier and Chris Darnell, so we can throw some token size at him to kind of simulate a little bit, not really much more than kind of having a body out there. So we can put him through different things we like to do, what Earl wants to see, what he can do in terms of some stuff in his offensive and defensive philosophy. So it does have its benefits to get him in our gym.
What do you think about his game translates well, and what does he still got to prove to get to that level athletically or shooting wise?
I think his motor is his one big thing. If you saw him, he's probably led the nation in terms of getting on the floor. He's a great rebounder. He's probably, I think something he showed a little bit more probably with the Lithuanian junior national team, his ability to pass, his ability to shoot are two things I think that will probably grow in time as he kind of gets more experience.
Is he a little more skilled as a big man than some of the other guys comparably in this draft?
Yeah, he's a fairly skilled guy. Yeah, obviously when your bloodline goes back to Arvidas, then you're going to have some natural advantages, but he's a good shooter, he's a good passer, he's a good feel for the game, he's grown up around it, and again, playing at a high level in Malaga, at Gonzaga, and now with a Chevrolet NBA team he has great experience.
Where is his range outside the paint?
He shot the three ball pretty well in our workout, so I think his range is kind of growing. He shot, I think, in like the mid-30s at Gonzaga, so he's got a nice shot.
With Czech, he was the only freshman in that six-man group. Everyone was seniors. Was there a difference? Did you notice physically, or how much IQ he had in his game compared to all the seniors?
Well, obviously the kids that are 22, and I think Lester might have been 23 years old. You see physical maturity. So with Shaq, you have really long arms and a body that's coming along pretty quickly. He's gotten more bulk from going to Kansas. They had a great strength staff there. So physically, he's coming along nicely. Obviously, his wingspan stands out.
The guys he talks about NBA players, both past and present, he likes. All of them kind of have high motors and a lot of enthusiasm. Does he have that as well when you watch him play?
Yeah, he does. He plays really hard. He was a McDonald's game MVP. So when you see him out there, it's a lot of energy, it's a lot of length, a lot of activity. So when you have that type of kid and that type of physical makeup, you play hard, you usually make an impact.
Didn't have a lot of college experience, so how do you kind of forecast what he might be able to do on the NBA level?
Well, there's some projection, obviously. I think the good thing for him, he didn't go to a school where he went to a school that was really good, a top 25 team with a great coach, and he still played a role. So kind of projecting it out and kind of see what he did for Kansas, which was a very good team, and seeing which skills and which areas he excelled in, how he can kind of project and at what point in his career where it really projects.
Do you believe in like per 40s, like you take his 7.5 minutes and extend it, and that's what he would do, or is that hard to?
It's hard to do, I think, especially when the guy doesn't play a ridiculous amount. You get a little bit lost in kind of the fog of the numbers a little bit. So, again, he's a guy that we've seen in high school. We've seen him play practice. We've seen a bunch of events, and this is the next thing. He did well in Chicago, and getting him in here working out against a bunch of guys is probably more the process than his poor 40s might be a little bit kind of projected too high.
With Lester Ryan, with getting the local guys in here, what's that mean for them to come in? Look out for the hometown team.
It's great. I got my master's at Baylor, so it helps the alumni association. So maybe they don't ask for cash; they just say that's good enough for service. No, Lester was good. He started for a top 25 team, and obviously being a Tucson native, it was nice to have him come in. And then Ryan had a great college career over his time at Boston College and at Arizona. So Arizona's a great program. Coach Miller's a great coach, so we know when we get those guys in there, they'll be ready to roll and really competitive in the workout. So it was great to have them in.
How much does motor matter to you in projecting a guy's ability to grow and expand his game?
The motor's really high. It's something that, it's hard to develop motor. I think over time as kids mature and sometimes different positions add that later, but motor is a big thing. If you don't play hard, you can be the most talented guy in the world, but you might do anything. You can't kind of get out there and take advantage of your skills.
So what would it have been like if you had Shaq and Sabonis out there together? They're both there.
Yeah, it would have been some sparks and probably, a few hits here and there, but it would have been a physical one.
With playing internationally and then just coming here for the NCAA, how does playing in the NCAA help instead of just staying international and playing when you're evaluating?
Well, it gets you, again, some more kind of recent tape against some of the American prospects. So, and he also probably gets a bigger role just based on how European players kind of sometimes are slower in terms of getting huge minutes for their clubs. He played for a really good club team in Spain, so coming in, being a main guy in Gonzaga, and getting an evaluation against the top college guys kind of gives you a full value. He played with the Lithuanian national team last year. He's played with the junior team, so we've seen him at different levels. It helps.
Are your expectations any different from that of like a Bender who's been just international?
Not quite, but Bender is another guy that, again, our guys travel all around the world, so we have a pretty good feel for Bender. Our international guy, Emilio Kovacic, is a Croatian, so he's kind of known about Bender for a long time. I've had a chance to see him kind of since he was probably about 16 years old, so you don't get the chance to kind of fly to Spokane or fly to Vegas to see him, but it doesn't really change expectations.
How many of those agency workouts did you go to in the past week or whatever?
A bunch, so lost count, a bunch of them. So
Are they productive, or what do you gather from those? They're very orchestrated. But
anytime you get a chance to, some play 3-on-3, some don't, but you get a chance to see a guy live, see him move around, see if they've developed any skills or kind of taken a step since the last time you saw him.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.